Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are here for the July 2018 Worldox Virtual User Group Meeting. Mary Jo is just so excited over there, she can't contain herself. I'm feeling the same way. Today we're talking about finding things, finding clients, finding matters, what to do when you're not finding what you're expecting. Why might that be happening? Those are the topics. Without any further ado, I'm going to hit all the magic buttons that I need to hit in order to get us into Worldox and into a state where Mary Jo can talk about finding clients and matters.
Awesome. So what I'm going to talk about today is how to access clients and find clients through direct access. So there's lots and lots of different ways that we can look for documents and how to search for a certain particular client or a matter. But today I'm going to focus on direct access. So up here is the little direct access button. When we push on that, or click on that, I should say. So here we have what cabinet that we're searching in. So right now I'm just going to leave it at client files, but you would be able to select what cabinet you wanted to search. And then we have a couple of different options here on the screen. So first off, we can just start typing in the client name if we know it. So if I know that I'm looking for Scooby-Doo, I can start typing Scooby-Doo, and it will start to autofill and try to find the right Scooby-Doo matter that I have, their client, I should say, that I have. So if I wanted this Scooby-Doo, I could pick it. There was only one matter for Scooby-Doo, so it automatically filled that in for me. If I typed in Smith, it would try to find all the Smiths. And you can see I've got a lot of Smiths out here. So I may need to be a little more specific. I could say, you know, to keep typing until I could find that. So we have that autofill alpha search here for the client. Now, if I don't know who the client is, but I know the matter, so I'm going to come in here and look for Anderson. I have a matter named Anderson. This is what do I want to say? That is the text that you have put into the work description field.
Right.
There we go. I spit that out today. So here I have a matter that's 01 for Anderson Co., and that's what I was looking for. And if I click on Anderson Co., it will automatically put the client ID in there for me. So two things there. I could search for the client by typing the name in, or if I knew what the number was, I also could type that number in, making sure I have those prepended zeros in there because we always need to have the same amount of characters here. If so, this one is 21603. I have 5. I need to make those 3 leading zeros in there. So I could do it with that number. Or I could come in with the matter, and I could put that in there. Or I could put in typing with words there. Okay, so that's all available as I go. Now, I'm going to take that out of there. Something else that you can do is if you use the little drop down to the right of this field, this is going to show you your most recently accessed matters. So all of these matters are ones I have recently saved documents to. So I could pick my matter or my client off of here. Same thing with the matter. If I look at the matter, now the matter is a little different because if I'm looking at the matter table at this point, let me get a client out of here. Let me get this out of there. Get that out of there. All right, so if I just go directly to the matter now, you see I don't have any recently accessed matters. I don't really have that option here with that unless I have a client in there. I would have to type in that information here. Okay, so if I do this drop down here, you can see I've got all of these options here, but if I go all the way to the bottom, I can also browse the client table from here. Now I could do that from here, or on this side, these are actually buttons. And I know they don't look like buttons because it's like a flat view here, but this is a button. And I can click on the client, and it will bring up the whole table. So this does the same thing as if I hit this right arrow and go all the way down and browse the table. That's what this is doing if I click on the client. It just takes me right into the whole table. At this point, I can kind of do some sorting. I could say, show me the active only or the inactive only. I can sort by either the client number, and this time when I type the number, I don't have to worry about those prepended zeros. So if I wanted client number 010247, I can go ahead and type that, and it's going to go down there, and it will still find 1027 and highlight it, even though I didn't put those 3 zeros in. So sometimes you know the client number without the zeros. Just go and browse the table and make sure you're sorting on the client number and type in that number, and you can go ahead and get to it. Now I also could sort by the client description, and again start typing in a name, and I could go down to all the Smiths. Now I've got them in that order here of how that is being typed. So I've got all my Smiths in here. So lots and lots of different ways here that you can get into the information and get down to that exact matter that you're looking for right from direct access. And just really briefly, I'm going to just show you over on the very left, you've also got the favorite matters. So these are going to list all your most recently accessed matters as well, so and in all the different cabinets that I could just go in and pick from that list as well. So either type in the name, you can do the number, you can do your drop downs, you can do favorite matters, you can type just the matter name in there if you know what it is, or you can just go and browse the tables. Oh.
Most common question we get when we show people favorite matters is, how do I get something in there? Well, the only way to get something in there is to use it. In other words, you can't say, add this matter to my favorite matters, but the minute you take an email and put it in there, or open a document, or save a file to that matter, then it becomes your favorite matter. How do I get rid of it? It stays there for 30 days of no activity, and then it goes away. So
you can also take it out of your favorite matters.
You can take it out.
Yeah,
okay.
You can take it out of your favorite matters.
You just can't. You can't put it in there.
Yep.
Okay.
You can remove it from your favorite matters if you no longer want it on there.
Okay. And then, of course, as Mary Jo said, you can type the numbers in there, but that becomes kind of a tricky thing, because you have to know, well, how many digits does it want, and how many digits is the number I want? It's client 101, and it's expecting 7 digits, so I need to put 4 zeros in the front. Or this one's client 10427, so I got to, let's see, hold on, 125, I got to put 2 zeros in the front. That becomes a little bit tricky. I like Mary Jo's idea. Instead of going into the list, sorting by number, and then typing it without the zeros, and then it'll do the what they call type down, and it'll take you to that and go right to it that way. Another thing I wanted to point out is this isn't really just, Mary Jo, was emphasizing, well, this is used a lot in direct access, but it's any time you're specifying these fields, these things work. So if you're saving a new document, or even if you're searching, or if you're editing the profile, anytime you're in this profile screen, these things are going to be there. What's confusing to people sometimes is the most recently accessed is specific to what you're doing. So most recently accessed for client in search will be the most recent clients that you used in the search function, whereas most recently accessed for client in direct access will be the most recently used clients from when you were using direct access. So that can be confusing sometimes. It's like, well, I used this client, I profiled a document to them today. Yeah, but that's not where you are now. You're not profiling that document. Very good. Awesome. Now, my topic is what to do when you can't find something. Now, in the very first part of that is, okay, what if I'm here in direct access and I'm trying to find a certain matter for Scooby-Doo. So Scooby-Doo is the client, and maybe they have a certain matter that I'm looking for, and it's not there. Well, either somebody didn't add it, but that's probably not the case because you're looking for it. The most common reason that you don't find something here is because somehow the person who added that to your practice management system, Practice Master is the most common one that our clients use, somehow got their Worldox integration turned off. So they added that matter to Practice Master or to Tabs, and Practice Master or Tabs said, okay, got it, let me check. Nope, they don't have Worldox integration turned on, so I'm not going to put that over in Worldox. That's one thing to check when you're not finding what you're looking for. Just so you know, all you really need to do is tell your system administrator. They will turn your Worldox integration back on, and they can also resync those tables so that the client and matter that may have been added, maybe you added 12 of them, and those will magically reappear in Worldox once that table gets resynced. Another reason that things sometimes don't get found is when you're searching. And this searching could be anywhere. Let me get in direct access for, does Scooby have any documents, Mary Jo? I understand. No, I'm talking about just pulling it up. Scooby has some. Okay. Hold on. Scooby. Second Scooby? I have it on very good authority. Is it the second Scooby? Yep. Maybe it's the first Scooby. Let's go find this other Scooby. There we go. Let's go to the first Scooby. Okay. So, where was I headed with this? So you typed this document. I don't have a Word file, so you typed a Word file this morning. Okay. You put it in the Scooby-Doo Matter. We don't need to find it, Mary Jo. I'm just talking. You put it in the Scooby-Doo Matter. You know it's there because you saved it. Now you go back to search, and you go into search, and you say, well, I know that had the word pickle in it, so I'm going to search for all documents that have the word pickle in them. I'm going to back up for just a second. I'm going to talk about how things get indexed. When you save a brand new document, this machine that sits in somebody's office or in the server room called the indexer looks every 10 seconds, says, oh, there's a new document from Paul. I'm going to take the title or the description, and I'm going to index the words. I'm going to index the document itself to be with this client, to be with this matter, to be in this doc type, so that when they search for doc type or client or matter or a certain word in the title, it's going to find it right away. Yay. But the text indexing part does not run every 10 seconds. So if you're looking for something by text in document, so when you go into search, there's searching for the name, but also searching for something called text in file. If you put that document in the system today, you won't be able to find it using this field until tomorrow. So as long as you understand that, that's usually enough to get people around that problem. But if you don't understand that, that can be a big problem for somebody that's expecting to find that. I guess the premise, there's the number of reasons for that. People often ask, well, why is that? Well, one, it takes a lot longer to index documents text than it does to index the metadata, the name, the doc type, the client, the matter. That's metadata. Putting those into indexes is very quick, and the indexer can keep up with that. But if you create a bunch of 10-page documents, indexing a 10-page document for search takes a great deal of time compared to indexing the metadata. And so as people in a large firm are creating these documents, you could really bog down and even bring the server down, or the indexer down to its knees, if it were indexing those all at once, all at the same time. So what we do instead is we run through the text indexes every night. So that's important to understand. Another thing that people sometimes discover is, I put in a document this morning, and when I use search to find that client, so what they're doing is they're going into search, looking for client, in the client cabinet, and they're really just putting the client in here, Scooby, and we'll choose the, what was it, the first one? And they're choosing a certain matter, and they're really using search to do exactly the same thing direct access can. Okay, and that's great. There's no problem with that. However, direct access takes the user directly to that folder. It does not look at the search indexes to see if it can find what you're looking for. So when I go through direct access and I say I want Scooby-Doo and his matter 00, I am going straight to that folder. When I go into search and say that I want Scooby-Doo and his matter 00, it then looks in the indexes for all the documents that have that client number and that matter number. And if for some reason the indexer is down, you probably are not going to find it that way. So understanding how the indexer works and understanding that occasionally the indexer can go down can be a big part of solving that type of a search problem. If you don't find something this way, and you're all really only looking for a client in a matter, going into direct access, and it says no files found, or it says it's not finding the one you're looking for, going into direct access will get you to that folder without using the search indexes, and therefore everything that's in that folder will be there. Now let me describe a little bit further the differences between the indexer going down in one way versus another. If the indexer just stops working, it stops scanning every 10 seconds looking for new documents, then that does not affect the indexes that already exist. And by that I mean, if you created a document yesterday, and now you go in and you search for something that's going to bring that document up, and the indexer went down 10 minutes ago, that doesn't mean it's not going to find the document created yesterday because that was indexed yesterday. However, if you created a document in the last 5 minutes and the indexer went down 10 minutes ago, that means that that document has not been added to the indexes at all. So nothing about it is going to be in there. It's important to understand that when the indexer just plain stops for whatever reason, it's only documents that were added after it stopped that aren't going to be findable. Now the other side of the coin is sometimes an indexer will crash in the middle of creating its indexes. And when it does that, you usually lose the ability to search for anything based on anything, because now you don't just have indexes that aren't being updated, you have indexes that have been corrupted and are no longer accessible. Think of the index as being like the card catalogs at the library that help you to go straight to the book that you're looking for. And I know they don't use card catalogs anymore, but you still get that number that takes you straight to where it is. If you're not able to access the system that gives you that number, that Dewey Decimal number that's going to take you to the exact right shelf and location of that book, then you can't get there. But if the system just stopped accepting new stuff 10 minutes ago or 2 days ago, and the book that you're looking for was added to the whole library, added to the shelves yesterday, then you're not going to find it, but you're still able to find all the other things that have been in the library for anywhere from 2 days to forever. Okay? Same thing is what's going on here. So it's important to understand how the indexer works. And the most important thing to understand is that the fact that it's gone down or that it is not working anymore is not going to keep you from that document, because you can always use direct access to get to that matter, that client, and then just look through the files. And B, if it's in that state, please tell somebody. I can't tell you how many times I go into firms and the indexer may have been down for a couple of days and people are complaining, but nobody told IT. Nobody told the guy that can fix it. Okay? So that's kind of a brief history of the indexer. It's some information on how text searching is done. It's some information on why you may not be finding things. It's hopefully a better understanding of how that stuff works. Bottom line, always remember, direct access is always going to take you to that folder. It does not use the indexes. Of course, the indexes are great. That's how you can find the needle in the haystack. That's how you can find all the pleadings that Bob did in the last 2 weeks, because he can't remember what it was for, but he wrote a pleading that you're looking for right now. That's great, but when it's not there, direct access is always going to get you there. And that's that. Next month we are talking about editing profiles, how to do that. Some people are not aware that you can edit the profile after it's been created, so we're going to go into a little bit of a deep dive into how to do that. And I'm going to talk about refining searches. And what I mean by that is you've narrowed down to this list of 272 documents. What if you want to refine that a little bit further without starting over again? I'm going to talk to you about how to do that. Now, of course, it wouldn't be one of our virtual user group meetings if I didn't take you out to attorneycomputersystems.com, and I put a little bit of emphasis on that last S in the word systems, because without that last S, you will not get to where you're going. So make sure that it's attorneycomputersystems.com, not just attorneycomputersystem.com. And when you get there, click on the word videos, and you will end up at a page that lists all 6 of our titles eventually. Things are moving a little bit slow today. There we go. And of course, we have our virtual user group meetings. You are currently in the Worldox virtual user group meeting. We also have a virtual user group meeting for tabs and a virtual user group meeting for Practice Master. The other of our 4 live events is our Coffee Pot webinar series, where I will pull somebody in from a company that offers a product that adds value to Practice Master or tabs or Worldox, and have them explain what their product does and how it works and how to get it and how much it costs. And then we also have our 2 pre-recorded video titles. Mary Jo has her eBytes video series, where she takes the 3 programs that we represent, Worldox, Tabs, and Practice Master, and records 1 eByte each month for each of those 3 programs. And these are short 2-3 minute videos where we take something very simple in nature that we feel everybody should know about and that we can explain very briefly and concisely, and we record an eByte for it. For those topics that are a little bit broader and take a little bit more time to explain, we have the Paul and Mary Jo Show. We record 1 of those each month, and either I or Mary Jo will take a topic that takes a little bit more time, and we will take that a little bit more time to explain all the intricacies. So these are sometimes 10, 15, sometimes even a little bit longer, 20 minutes or longer, and get into great detail. These videos are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. So please take advantage of them. We have somewhere between 800 and 1,000 out there. Lots of valuable information. That's it for today. Everybody have a good rest of the day, good rest of the month, and we will see you next month. Thanks much, everybody.